Good morning. So I thought we'd try this walking chat thing again. This time it's again a little after 6 something. I wanted to get out here a little earlier. That didn't happen. But it's a Sunday morning, so shouldn't be any delivery trucks, nobody heading to work or school, or at least minimal. Just a few exercisers out. Today, I thought we'd talk about trauma therapy. One of the therapists, we just see her on occasion now, but we did kind of a check-in session with her. And she said that I in particular, might need some trauma therapy. And at first I thought she was joking. And have come to realize it wasn't a joke. This is some serious heavy stuff. And I mean, I'll be honest, it's in the depths of it, there were points where I got to feeling like, see, with PDA, pathological demand avoidance, or some people call it persistent demand for autonomy, with our youngest need for that autonomy, which I totally understood, he needs to be in control of pretty much everything. And so with him home all the time, around the clock, no going to school, not being up for activities, not being interested or willing to go do things, controlling what we watch, controlling what we eat, that left no room for autonomy for myself at all, which is something we sacrifice a lot as moms. But this was to a really, really, really extreme degree. I have isolated quite a bit, especially this last year or two, but really over all of this time. I've pulled back from friends a lot and stopped doing and just kind of gave up, because every time I tried to do something for me, it would just not work out so well. It was like a flag to, hey, come interrupt me. Hey, come let me know how much you need me. So I just stopped trying. And it's really hard. It's really hard to exist like that, especially as an introvert who needs time to recharge my batteries and just exist and be. Never ever being able to recharge, or if I tried, it being abruptly interrupted all the time. It was a lot. What I equate it to is, you know, when somebody has a dog that adores them and cares about them, but they're not, and I'm not saying our youngest is a bad person, but the dog owner is a bad person. Our youngest can't help it. He's got issues out of his control. When that bad dog owner is out for a walk with their dog, and he's constantly yanking the dog. You know, one of those where it's like they're walking along and, no, come this way, no, come this way, come this way. And that's what I felt like. I felt like the dog on one of those choker chains, constantly being jolted one direction or another, and completely unable to control it or to save myself. And again, because it's my child with understandable issues and not actually a mean grown man, dog owner in this analogy, there's not much you can do about it. It just is kind of what it is in your existence. And Not a very nice analogy. It's just the only way I can think of to describe it. And again, my child is not a bad person. And he just has a lot of issues that he doesn't know how to control because he's a kid and because they're pretty extreme. And I don't know that many could control them. But it's the best way I can think of to describe the reality of what it felt like being me in this situation. So, yeah, I've had some other analogies over time, but you know, of course, they're not going to come to me right now. So, for me, getting past that and working on it, breaking free of it, very coincidentally coming through these bridge gates. Some interesting timing. My version of trauma therapy would be to do exactly this, what I'm doing. Going on this journey to find myself again, to do things, to get out and explore, to talk with you guys even, to do all my creative stuff, even just the checking stuff off my to-do list really helps. It makes me feel better. Not sitting in more appointments. We've had so many appointments in our life, especially these last few years. And had a lot of therapy in my life, period. I was raped in college and definitely went through an array of therapy after that, and years and years to be able to move forward. And now there's a lot of benefits to therapy. Totally not dissing it at all. But we've had, between all appointments we've had, all the appointments we'll continue to have because there's still plenty of work to be done. We're still very involved in his life, just as parents and not the actual caregivers too. We're letting the professionals do that now. The thought of adding more meetings to the schedule, more talking about the negatives and the struggles, around, and focusing on that. Just, it feels counterproductive and quite honestly a bit traumatic in itself. Just even the thought of adding more appointments, and it just really, yeah, it's hard. Because here's the thing. I'm really aware of our situation. I know what's going on. I know as much as I can understand what's going on with our child. I've done a lot of research and reading and everything that I can on that front. I know where we're at and I know how we got here, for the most part. And I know and understand that a lot of it is out of my control, which is hard. My way of dealing with my past therapy was to become a bit of a control freak myself, and having control of things, having things organized, having things can't even think of how to say it, but we'll just go with having control of things. It makes me feel safe. So all of this lack of autonomy for myself, all this lack of being able to control things, that is really hard for me. But at this point in time, for our situation and what my particular needs are, I feel like the best use of my time is not making therapy appointments, but making appointments with myself, making appointments with my husband, with my children, doing things, getting out, going on excursions, doing my creative projects, all feel like trauma therapy to me. They feel healthy and good, and they're me living my life and doing something positive and moving forward. And yeah, I would much rather spend my time doing that. So again, lots of benefits to therapy. It's great for many people. It's been great for me in the past. I genuinely don't feel like that's where it's at for me right now. And I do agree what we've been going through has been traumatic, especially for me as the one that was having to do it all the time and be the manager of it. But yeah, I don't want any more trauma. I just want to live life and exist and not be that person. And this stuff, all this heavy stuff. So I want to lighten up and enjoy, and yeah, so that's what I have to say about trauma therapy. And so this is my version of that. And I'm sure some would disagree, and that's fine, but it's my life. And this is something I feel very strongly about. And yeah. So, as always, if you like this video, then hit that like button. I appreciate it. And if you'd like to continue following along this journey with me and see what kind of therapy I do for myself, hit the subscribe button to keep updated. And oh, hi, how are you? Oh. I think you have other friends nearby. You're a young one, huh? What you think? Anyways, I'm going to continue on this walk, and bye for now. More, huh? So I left Bashi inside, and the cat flap doesn't open until 7, so unless I let him out, he can't get out. So today I was smart and left him and Jason inside, except Callie was out here waiting for me. So she must have went out a window overnight. She's determined she's gonna go for a walk with me. Bye, baby. Love you. Nope, still coming. Okay. All right, Callie. Mommy, say bye here. I'm gonna go for my walk. Okay. You go back to house. Pretty please for mommy. You wait for mommy? Yeah. You ready to go home? Want some breakfast? Huh? Yeah? You want some breakfast? Yes. Oh. Come on. Take me home. Come on, old girl. All right, Calliope. Ready to go home?